adopted Ebony when she was just about 4 years old. She'd been a breeding dog when we got her. She hadn't lived in a house with people very much, and she was very nervous inside, and especially nervous around men. So when she first came here, she avoided me all the time. She didn't know very many commands. She didn't have very much structure at home, and so she was always nervous and not sure what she should be doing in the house and on walks. She was easily startled, so things like if the door opened, she would bolt out and run out of the house. If she was outside, she would get nervous and not want to come back into the house. And when I was in the house, she would usually leave the room and try to stay away from me as much as possible within the house. Yeah, we've seen a huge improvement in Ebony from when we started our training to now, and since the training finished a month ago or so as well.
Yeah.
Ebony's learned to relax more. We've learned a lot about about how to interact with her to reduce her anxiety. So we have more structure in the house for her. We're able to give her more playtime and able to have her off leash on walks with her. And so she's able to do things she enjoys, but also has more structure and knows how to interact within our family. She's definitely less anxious in the house and outside of the house.
Mm-hmm.
She'll interact with me more than she used to. She eats food from our hands all the time and wants to interact with us and be around us, whereas before she would go out of her way to avoid us. And it's increased our connection with her. She's not just better trained, she's happier and more confident and more relaxed. And when people come to our house or when we take Ebony somewhere, people notice that there's been a change in her behavior and her demeanor. And when we have guests over now, she will interact with them. She's not running in fear from everyone who comes into our house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we initially started the training, we had a few goals that they were quite modest, for Ebony not to bolt through doorways, for her to be more comfortable around us and less anxious. And at the time, those goals seemed unrealistic. I thought that there was no way that we would possibly get Ebony to the point where she wasn't bolting out of the doors and was comfortable walking through doorways. I thought that was like way beyond anything we could possibly achieve.
Especially those early days of training.
Yeah, and the first few weeks of training, that was true. But at this point, she does it flawlessly, I don't know,
Yeah.
99 times out of 100.
And there's also support in those first few weeks, like when things weren't going well and Ebony was kind of in crisis there, you're emailing Simone a lot, and
Yeah.
Simone was getting back to you pretty much right away with the solutions, and that made the training a lot smoother in the beginning too, kind of adjusting
And
what needs to be done.
I liked as well that the training was adapted to our specific needs, for sure.
Yeah.
Ebony's a pretty unique dog, I think, and has had a unique set of life experiences. And the things that we tried initially with training, we realized that her threshold was quite low. It was quite easy to stress her out to a point where she wasn't performing very well. And so Simone was really good at adapting all of the training and all of the practice with Ebony to best meet her needs and train her as effectively as possible.
Mm.
And so that was really important to us, that it wasn't a one-size-fits-all training program. Because
Yeah.
Ebony's a unique snowflake that needs her own unique training.
I thought it was quite fun too. I enjoyed a lot of the games that we were playing. With games, that was also training, right? And even at home, like going home and doing them for homework was fun to spend that time with Ebony. So I enjoyed it.
Well, I think as dog owners, we wanted to provide the highest quality of life for Ebony that we could, and to have a pleasant experience being dog owners and having her be a part of our life and our family. And doing the training has allowed us to do that. Previously, there was a lot of stress around Ebony's behavior in the house, and it was uncomfortable for all of us. And we've learned a lot of ways to deal with that and to make a happier environment for us and for Ebony.